I asked one person from every NATO country this question.
So, what do you think is the biggest threat to your country?
And here are their answers, from smallest to biggest country.
Foreign influence right now.
Russian influence.
Perhaps Russia is threatening the bloc that Luxembourg is part of, but actually between the two countries they have decent relations. So, Luxembourg is friends with most people.
I'm from Estonia, but currently living in Finland. Estonia and Finland are neighbors with Russia, and this is the biggest threat.
I would say the problematic thing is the veto from Bulgaria in our accession into the EU.
Anti-European or pro-Russian sentiment.
The war Russia in Ukraine, this is actually affecting all of us. So
I think corruption. I also believe corruption is a very big problem in our country.
There's so many threats, but I think that time is one of the biggest threats, as we still need to do a lot in order to prepare for a future and emerging threats.
I think the biggest threat is for sure Russia, and I think the biggest threat is the way that they're manipulating the media and the news.
The war that's on Ukraine that Russia started.
Especially in the psychological misinformation warfare by Russia.
Obviously, the proximity to Russia is a bit worrying.
Of course, Russian aggression.
Що ви вважаєте найбільшою загрозою для вашої країни?
Росія. Звичайно, що це існування Росії.
Російської пропаганди.
Unfortunately, we do have a lot of influence from Russia and Turkey and the US, and unfortunately, the society is a little bit more polarized than it should be.
I think it's the country itself, the government.
I would say Russia again because of the attacks, but also Turkey.
Turkey?
Probably our neighbors, Turkey. Sometimes attacking Greece territories.
I think currently, like all European countries, it's probably Russia. Like, the answer is obvious.
actually it's Russian interference.
I would say probably misinformation.
The biggest threat in Sweden, I would say Russia.
If anyone has ever watched the series that just came out, Adolescence, I think the effect of the algorithm on Instagram, for example, how that affects young children.
Russia and the ongoing war.
The cancelling of elections a few months ago, and I think that is a threat to democracy, mainly supported by Russia.
Certainly Russia.
The obvious one is Russia, of course, but I think also Belarus is a very big threat to Poland.
The US wanting Canada to be the 51st state.
I would say the loss of confidence in the institution.
Russia in the eastern flank, but especially for Spain, the southern flank.
Right now, pretty much becoming besties with the United States, so I don't think that's a threat anymore.
This is really controversial, but I think the US.
The UK itself.
That's a very good question. I think that every country that would attack the EU or NATO would be an enemy to France.
Putin right now, which is posing the biggest threat to German security.
Russia and Iran.
Probably with the United States, probably the United States.
I would say either China or Russia, both for different reasons, both related to international security.
By the way, if you're from any of these countries, do let me know if you agree with the answer. And sadly, we're missing 3 countries. Let's see if you can tell what they are.